Hi everybody, I'm Sharon Caetano. I'm a realtor, an investor, and an entrepreneur. If I was going to describe myself in 3 words, I would probably say outgoing, hardworking, and resilient. An unknown fact about me is that I grew up north, so I absolutely love to be off the grid in our provincial parks in Ontario, portaging, anything that gets me out in the wilderness doing everything rugged. What I usually hear about myself when I first meet people, maybe that's the answer. Geez, you're a lot.
And with the projects that you're doing, you're now focusing with investment on multifamily projects, and there are some fantastic activity in Alberta is coming and going, and some of them are way faster than you thought. They're becoming so successful. And what is your current project that you work on there?
Well, right now, like you said, we're looking in Edmonton, Alberta specifically. I do work with Mark Loeffler with Top Gun Investment Group, and we're focusing our efforts out there. We're purchasing multi-residential buildings. Our first one was a 15-unit building that we picked up in April of 2021. And that project specifically, we're looking at doing the BRRRR model on the majority of the buildings that we look at. We just find there's the ability to generate the most income, whether you're looking at a smaller property, even locally. When we talk about that BRRRR, we're looking at it being a buy. You're going to renovate that property, you're going to rent it, you're going to refinance that property, you're going to get the rents up, and then you're going to repeat this process. So when we're looking at that being a small local project or a larger multi-residential project, it's exactly the same thing. So long story short, we did have some success, and by success I mean tenants that wanted to leave. The building was in rough shape. We were coming in, we were renovating units. We offered cash for keys, we offered a free month. A lot of them took it, and for us as investors, a lot would panic and think, oh, we don't have cash flow, panic. Whereas for us, we want to turn those units over. We want to have an upside in the rents. So it was a great opportunity. We're really, really pleased. We've had 2/3 of the building, so 10 out of the 15 units will have been renovated, and it's just gone really, really well. We've got a great team out there. It's at a distance. Obviously, it's a whole other conversation as to how to invest at a distance, and we don't have to kiss the brick necessarily and have it close by. But we've had some great success with that building particularly. And then other projects, again, same scenario, different challenges on those buildings. And as we move forward, we've got 3 more under contract right now that are of interest to us. We're in the process of doing some due diligence on those buildings, and we'll see where things go.
What is the most important thing to achieve the growth and scale, do you think?
In business and real estate and life,
in business,
and the whole
in real estate, we're talking about real estate and the really meaty part of that real estate investing.
In order to achieve growth, I mean, I do think that you should be featured on a TED Talk at this point, all the things that we've covered and the topics of conversation that we've had. But I think my biggest lesson to achieve growth is one of leverage. And leverage, if you're not really familiar with the actual term leverage, I would just say recognize the areas in your life. And again, this is going to go back to the book that is the prize for everybody. Recognizing the places in your life that you are spending time that are not efficiently using your time. Where are you not utilizing your skills to their highest and best use? So you should be doing those things that are your highest and best use activities. And the rest of it, you need to leverage. So I look forward to the day that I don't have to clean my house or do laundry, or that's a simple aspect that's maybe quite relatable. We're also looking at things like video editing on your YouTube channel. Are you the person that's going to be sitting down behind the scenes editing the video, or is that your highest and best use? And I'm going to suggest perhaps not, right?
Oh.
So all of us have room for leverage, and without it, there's no opportunity for growth. And then so when we specifically relate that to your real estate portfolio, who are the people that are going to be on site and doing the things that you need to have done, but are not in your skill set? I know my skill set. I know I'm very clear on my skill set. Our property manager is on site doing a phenomenal job out there. Our contractor is absolutely incredible. The team that we have out there, they're doing an amazing job. Have I done projects on my own in the past? Have I swung a hammer? Absolutely. Have I done my own gut and renovations? And I mean, let's be real for a second. I absolutely love doing my own renovations. I've laid my hardwood floors. I have installed backsplashes for clients. We're changing out electrical. Mark wouldn't even appreciate me saying that, but for clients, we're working for them. We're working hard for them. And during COVID, we rolled up our sleeves and prepared homes for sales because we couldn't get people to come in. So yes, we did change out electrical light fixtures. My point is that's not our highest and best use. We did that because we had to do it temporarily to get through a really challenging time.
Because you need to jump in when this is for the benefits of your project, but just don't plan it in advance to save money or to save those little pieces. And sometimes leveraging in that sense is first about not being afraid to ask for help.
And you used to see, if you've known me for a long time, you used to see when I started in real estate, I took great pride in that assistance that I gave to my real estate clients. I would post a picture of myself painting their home that day, and I would say, my office for the day, and I don't know, I'd play hashtag.
Painting like houses of your clients. This is a really high care service.
Oh, absolutely. So that's how I got started in actual real estate, is going in and helping prepare homes for sale. And I became a real estate agent, and I took those same skills. That was the plan I was on. I'm a hopeful person. I'm a resourceful, hardworking person. So I would literally go in and declutter. I drive a pickup truck for a reason. I will take their furniture to the dump that they don't want. I will paint their home. I literally have personally taken my wet saw and installed a tile backsplash for someone in their kitchen because it would look better to sell their home. And I would do those kind of things. Looking back, if I was to give my previous self advice, that's not the highest and best use of my time. There are painters out there who love to paint.
Probably
there are
do it faster.
There are tilers out there that will do a backsplash for $400. Was my time worth $400? I mean, that everyone's going to have to answer that question for themselves. But that is the service that I had originally offered my clients, and I still get pulled into that, and I need to get back into my lane and realize that's not my highest and best use. And I think that we all have to have that kind of close look at our own selves, our own life, whatever area that is, and think, okay, is my time being spent wisely here? But yeah, legitimately, that's how I started in real estate, was rolling up my sleeves and doing all the I have cleaned floors and cleaned behind toilets that and now there are people that enjoy cleaning. There are people who have that brain that loves to declutter and tidy the space up, and the before and afters that we do on a space. I'm not the one doing the actual efforts behind the scenes.
Can you tell us more about base metals?
Oh yeah, this is just a small snippet of our life, right? Like
are these Mark's?
No, these are not Mark's, these are mine, but he tends to do the similar events as I do. We did meet doing endurance sports and Ironman triathlon and stuff like that. So we met doing just Ironman training. Yeah, Ironman training.
Oh.
Yeah, triathlon training. So these events are just the last couple of years, some of the events that we've done. So some of the triathlons, these are different, this was called the Circumpolar Race Around the World. We raced as a team virtually during COVID, and we literally covered the globe with tracking our kilometers and how much we ran each day and submitting it, and we literally as a team ran across the actual world. So you can see the trail we took all the way down through South America, etc. And certainly that's on my bucket list on where I'm going to travel, and some of the just different marathons and events and stuff like that we've done.
Keeps you moving.
Absolutely.
Right?
The highlight for me is the adventure racing. We met doing triathlon, but adventure racing has my heart for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about your typical business partnership model that you usually use in your projects.
So our investment projects for sure, because again, when we wear all these different hats, it's like we don't want to segue. So we're talking to investors specifically right now. Since we have chosen to focus on the multi-residential larger apartment buildings, the structure is a little bit different depending on the building. Again, we're doing the BRRRR model. Typically, we're buying a project that is in challenging condition, let's say. We're willing to take that on, and we see the value to those buildings that maybe others wouldn't. So our typical ideal would be to find those BRRRR projects in a multi-residential way. Now, we are using other people's money to purchase those properties. So OPM, we're looking at using other people's equity and taking them into the project. And we're doing the active management of the acquisition, the research, the due diligence, the acquisition of the property, the day-to-day, the management. There's so much value there. And we're giving an opportunity to someone in our network or outside of our network who's perhaps hearing this or knows about Mark from the YouTube channel or what have you. We're giving them an opportunity to put their funds into a solid investment, into a passive investment, which is one of the most stable assets and stable areas of investment, simply because your risk is spread out over all of the tenants in these multi-residential buildings. You're not looking at a single family or a duplex where your risk would be higher if that tenant walks out the door, you've suddenly lost. So the risk is spread out. So that would be our basic ideal model right now, is that we would look at purchasing these buildings. We would put it out there as a package. In fact, we've got 3 buildings right now that we are looking at raising investment funds for. The raise we would do perhaps on a building of maybe $2.5 million. We're looking for a raise of, let's say, $800,000. So in order to make that reasonable or manageable for a lot of investors out there, we would say, okay, we're looking for 4 allotments of $200,000, and here's the expectations that we will bring to the table. And there's a very specific list of items that we're going to provide. And like I said, it's the active side of things. Mm-hmm. So most investors watching this will know what the active side of real estate investing looks like. That's what we're bringing them to the table, and from on their side, they're able to see. We're providing the reports, and I'm warm fuzzy, so I like to make sure they see the construction pictures and they're getting the updates throughout. And any questions that they have, they know they can just call me. But very typically, they're passive investors that we're the easy button for them. Mm-hmm. So that's the ideal. So there are buildings now that are in better condition. So as I walked through, I've got a video of one of the most recent buildings, and I'm like, it's not terrible. And Mark said, it's not terrible. What, like, you're not wired to sound so negative. I'm like, no, that was surprise. It's not terrible. Like, we actually don't need to renovate it, because we're so used to seeing these BRRRR projects. So in that case, the partnership would look different. The active side of it isn't as onerous, and we would probably offer a larger percentage of that building. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in that regard, our business structure is that each building has its own corporation. Okay, and then as part of that corporation, all of our investors are in that corporation as owners, sharing the ownership of that corporation which owns the building.
And most of your partners, do they prefer to stay silent, or how often do they want to get the reports, and how do you communicate with them? How most of them prefer you to communicate with them?
100% of our partners are silent, but we're also looking at the fact that we're investing in our network. They know us, they know where to find us, so we can communicate with them any day of the week. We send them a Top Gun hat, and just fun little stuff, some of the branding and what have you. We're doing our shareholder agreements, and then we're doing our annual reports, and other than that, very silent. Yeah. They literally want us to be the easy button. They don't want the phone call from the property manager.
And this is the very efficient model of communication between active and passive. That really gives the passive investor the beauty of passive investment, while it gives the active investor the opportunity to quickly and efficiently solve the problem, leveraging these partners' network, resources, and all the knowledge and experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really, really going well. Now, having said that, that's the bigger world. Am I opposed to smaller stuff? No, absolutely not. In fact, we are in the real estate world. We're sitting at our desks all the time, and no real estate agent should be in this industry if you're not passionate about looking at homes and looking through properties. And we're sitting there and we're like, oh, that's a good one. Let's offer on that. So smaller flips, there's still the opportunity to make it, some cash flow on smaller properties. Duplex conversion, so single family into a duplex or even a triplex conversion. We are looking at all of those opportunities. I think it's important not to put all your eggs in one basket. We're looking at multiple income streams in our lives as individuals, as people. We've got our cash, our salary, let's say our wages from our real estate sales as our occupation. We've got our investments. You're looking at your stocks. You're always looking to diversify your portfolio and where you're making money. But then even within our investments, we're doing the same thing. Spreading things out, multi-res, smaller stuff. So looking to have that, always looking to be open to those opportunities too.
Yeah.
Still knocking on doors. We're still knocking on doors. You're still knocking on houses.
Not yourself.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm fantastic at that. So what are my strengths? My strengths are people. My strengths are connecting.
So you're driving and happen to see a house which would be a perfect, you think, flip, and you would stop and knock on door.
Absolutely.
What would be a pitch?
Oh, just say, are you looking to buy or sell? Are you looking to move at any point in the future? Absolutely love this neighborhood. We love to be in this neighborhood. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at scripting. Honestly, if you wanted to ask me one of my weaknesses, Mark would be like, oh, shut up. You just get like really, and you go on and on. I say too much. That's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to know them. Are you interested in selling your home? I would love to buy it. Here's why. I don't pretend it's for me to move into with my children.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
Mm-hmm. It's literally for an investment. We'd love to improve your neighborhood. We make sure it's really taken care of well. Just be very polite and very respectful. And for the most part, it would be someone who again, I keep saying I'm the easy button. I say that to clients all the time. My goal is to try to make those in my life. It's to serve them. I'm wired for service. I'm absolutely wired for service. And it would be to make it easy for them. So the person who's selling to you when you're door knocking is someone who wants to just have a simple transaction. Yeah, do you know what? I'm thinking of downsizing at some point soon, but I'm not sure when. Oh, what do you need to find in order to get that happen? I can help you find that place. Oh, okay. And just connecting people.
How many touches with a person you would usually need? Do you follow up on that?
Do you know what?
Because usually it's probably not the first interaction, but probably second or third, or how does it work?
Well, let's look at always room for growth and improvement. I'm not fabulous at that. I'm not fabulous at follow-up. I'm not fabulous at the follow-up that I do at all.
So it's like literally the first knock and you can be buying.
I'd like to, yeah, absolutely. I just keep putting it out there. I have quantity of touches and phone calls and chats, and I'm the kind of person who will go throughout my day. The joke is that I make a new best friend everywhere I go because it's just part of who I am.
Oh, you do?
So yes, that's when you say, not you personally, yes, everywhere I go cut keys at Home Depot and I leave with 2 phone numbers. And I'm not picking people up. They're phone numbers, they're work phone numbers. These are potential listings or just a potential connection with an investor.
That is your strength.
Yeah.
We kind of touched a little bit, but I still want to ask the question. What is your weakness that you love?
My weakness that I love. Oh, what a great question. My head immediately goes to food. Is this what we're thinking? Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. What is your weakness that you love?
Okay, I mean, this feels like a full confessional here. I would eat pizza almost every day of the week. Almost every day of the week. I know that might be ridiculous. I absolutely love red wine. I drink a lot of red wine. Not right now on 75 hard, but I have the same same vices as many people do. But I also have the ability to say, I'm doing 75 hard. I don't need that today. I'm not going to need that for 75 days.
So it's turned off.
It's turned off. I don't need sugar in my life. I can turn that off. Yeah, which is something. But yeah, what else would be a weakness?
Something in your personality that, like, it's a weakness,
Oh.
but you're good with that.
Oh, a weakness in my personality is that I will keep my positive outlook, and I will keep that long past the point of logic. I know I will trust somebody to have my best interests at heart, because I think the best in everybody, and I will keep that long past the point of logic. So there's a naivety there that I know, and I'm called on, and people in my life know this. It's like, okay, no, they're not good, they're not doing the job, or I make the excuses for other people. My expectations on people on myself are incredibly high, and I'd like to think my expectations for people are also very high, but I'm very quick to think, they're just doing the best they can. We can allow for this, we can allow for that. And ultimately there isn't a lot of room for that in business. And so that, I would say, Is it a strength? Is it a weakness? Depends on how you look at it.
Because this is a weakness that you love.
Yeah.
You admit this is a weakness, but you love it.
I mean, we're all
wouldn't
wired.
change it.
We're all wired how we are wired, right? I'm wired with rose-colored glasses. I've worked hard for 20 years reading books that are going to improve my mindset and focus on a positive outlook. And you know what? We're a combination of our past. We're a combination of genetics and how we what we expose ourselves to. I certainly am. A significant portion of who I am is genetics, and I know I'm so much like my father and how he was, for good or for bad, incredibly outgoing. And as a child, I took a book everywhere I went because I knew we might be there for an hour as he chatted to someone. I am that person.
As he chatted to someone.
Yes, exactly. And I also am a huge aspect of my personality is my mom, who would put up with far more nonsense than she perhaps should have, and would have learned from her mom to grin and bear it. Should we grin and bear it? I don't know. Should we just put up with stuff? Should we grin and bear it? So that, for me, that grin and bear it mindset is something that has come into my psyche, and I'm not quite convinced. I'm still growing. I'm not quite convinced it's a weakness. I'm not quite convinced it's a strength. It's definitely something that I analyze on a pretty regular basis and go, should I still be on this path?
Analyze on a regular basis.
Okay, Alan wants to know about my kids. Okay, Charlotte is 13 years old. She's turning 14, and she is absolutely spectacular. This child is confident, and she is so approachable and open. I feel like I've created a mini me, but the mini me from now, not the one I was as a child. I was so introverted. So I can't wait to see where she goes. Next is Isaac. He's 11. He is my quiet one who is observant and soft, but he's clever behind the scenes. He's investigating, and he can't wait to figure out how to grow his YouTube channel. That's his career goal. David is my sweetheart. He's 9 years old and is absolutely soft-spoken and sweet. And he wants the best for everybody. He's constantly trying to do something kind for other people. It makes him feel good, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. Hope it doesn't get crushed, but it probably will. And James is my 7-year-old. He's my sweet pea. He's the one that looks up to everybody and tries to keep up, and he comes out swinging in order to do that. He's trying to keep his place in a world of older siblings, and he's doing a darn good job. It's pretty amazing to see them grow. Honestly, guys, I just feel so blessed to be their mom.
Let's get back to this. So, cats or dogs?
Dogs, big dogs.
Big dogs.
My first baby was a Rottie. You always start with the dog. So my Rottweiler, and then 2 years later I had my daughter.
Who's your real estate mentor? Or coach?
Coach, yeah, that's easy because that would be Mark Loeffler.
Both mentor and coach?
Yeah, I mean, when we started, I don't think you can have a better mentor than someone who's kind of been around the block as often as he has, as far as the smallest stuff and the big stuff and what have you. But the joke of how we started working together is his version is very different than my version. It's the same, but behind this, like, his version is she needed help, and my version is I grew too big, I got too successful, and I needed people in my life to assist me. Both are accurate.
Awesome.
Both are accurate. And then I started teasing him about the fact that he'd retired successfully at 40 years old, and that he was uninteresting and getting a dad bod and all the rest of it. And as friends do, you poke and pest each other enough times until it said, well, I'll get back into the game if I partner with you. We've got complementary strengths.
And look where it grew.
And here we are. So
mentor
and coach, we're lucky enough to kind of push each other, not only in sport but in business on a regular basis, and continue to mentor and coach each other to grow and challenge ourselves. You asked me to come on your show and bring a gift for someone, and the one thing that I did choose to do, it's new and I've got my coffee cup on it, is the book called The One Thing. So this is a book by Gary Keller. It is a bestseller. It's not related specifically to real estate, although he is the founder of Keller Williams Canada, which Mark and I are sales representatives at the brokerage. But this book is helping you focus on what is your one thing. So if you're sitting there and scrolling through social media and you're saying, oh no, I'm actually doing lead gen right now. I'm letting people know that I'm an investor. I invest in Alberta and I look for JV partners. So if you've got any extra cash, bring it my way. And you might think, oh, I'm being really hardworking and I'm focusing. You know what? You're potentially just scrolling through your social media and you might be distracting yourself. Are you doing your one thing? Get focused, stay focused, and know what your one thing is. If you're not able to actually pick that out, find a coach that will assist you. We've got some great coaches and investment coaches out there that are available. And investing in those and investing in yourself is something that is completely worthwhile doing.
So this book will be the gift for one of our viewers who are answering your question in the best way, or to whom do you want to give this?
Oh, so absolutely.
Because this is up to you. This is the part that you're.
I don't know, guys. So like I said earlier, we say all these things and you can throw all of these suggestions out there. Who's going to take action? Who's going to be that 1% that actually says, oh my gosh, I resonated with something that this crazy lady said. I resonated with that one piece. I want to take action. I want it to be that person. So whoever wants to reach out to Alla and
just comment below, and then Sharon will choose the winner.
I would comment below what your biggest action step you want to be in 2022. Maybe that's your personal goal of maybe some of these challenges that you might physically have for yourself. Maybe it's running a 5K. Who knows what that is? Maybe it's your next investment opportunity. It doesn't even matter if you're an investor or not. Maybe you want to be one day. So what action step are you going to take in 2022? And I'd love to get it to that person.
And that'd be one of our gifts. And we have another.
Yeah, now this is something that was mandatory, and I love the idea of it. I've never had that suggestion. So if anybody does want to have a phone call with me, that's something that Alla has asked me to kind of provide my time. And oftentimes, like I said earlier, I value experiences.
This is the most expensive gift, I think, from my perspective, because being in the real estate world, sometimes the hardest piece is to get someone's time and attention. And in this episode, you have a chance to win 15 minutes phone call with Sharon and tap on her wisdom.
And anybody who knows me knows that 15 minutes is actually as long as you want, because I'm an over communicator and an oversharer, and I'm someone who really loves engaging and getting to know people and who they are. So
use this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm out there, guys. I'm happy to chat to anyone.
So comment below, share what is the one thing that you want to get in 2022, and Sharon will choose the winner.
Hey Alla, it's Mark Loeffler from the Caetano Loeffler team, here to have a little discussion about Sharon. So some of her strengths. Personally, she is a great connector. Personally in business, she's a great connector. When she puts her mind to something, she gets the job done. She has incredible patience, hence she puts up with my jackassness. And yeah, she always wants to learn and grow, and she's basically in for anything. I could say, hey, we're going skydiving tomorrow, and she's in. Or I'm like, oh, we're gonna run 150 kilometers tomorrow, and she's like, okay, let's do it. So nothing phases her, and I hope that's what you want. Have a great day.
Hey, I just wanted to say that Sharon is awesome, and you are great at knowing what people are looking for and what people want, and I just wanted to thank you for that and being out there in the real estate community doing what you do. All right, thanks Sharon.
Sharon and I met just over a year ago, and we trained for triathlons together. One of the first things I did notice about Sharon is her ability to connect with people very easily. She is a very authentic person, and you can tell that from the first conversations you had with her. She wants to hear your story. She cares about your story. She likes to share her own story, and that makes people feel comfortable. In the type of business that she's in, that's a huge advantage.
More realistic and do something achievable, or how you
Go big.
Go big.
Go big. Go big and break it down. 1, 3, 5. You're going to break it down into your 1-year goal, your 3-year goal, and your 5-year goal. But your 5 years gigantic. Your 10 years even more, if that's what you want. And then I think that a lot of people underestimate the importance of the small steps, of the small habit. right? So you're sitting there and you haven't read anything on whatever you want to focus on that day. Maybe you want to trade stocks and you haven't had a chance to read anything about the stock market that day. You think, oh, it's just a day. Well, you know what? You're missing that small step. So that small step is not going to get you to, in a week's time, I want to know which stock I want to invest in. Because now in a week's time, if you've done that 2, 3, 4 times throughout the week. So just don't underestimate the power of that small step to get there and to achieve your bigger goal.
Is there in real estate investment your godfather, godmother, someone who was in the very beginning to push you and tell you that we believe in you?
Nope, it was a seed planted in my own head, in my own heart. I knew that I wanted to grow. I knew I wanted to have success in life from a business perspective. It wasn't valued. Business is not valued in my family. In fact, it's frowned upon.
So the whole idea of money making and all those things was not appreciated?
No, in fact, I was raised in a very religious house that money is the root of all evil. And by being successful now, I've been, it caused some significant challenges in there's a lot of judgment, negative judgment. When a woman becomes successful as a business owner, as a mother, how could you possibly have time for your children? There are so many limiting beliefs that come as part of that. So I don't want to go down that path because it does feel quite negative. I would just like to be aware that's out there. But as far as your question of was there someone who planted the seed or who was a visionary to kind of coach me? No.
Maybe 5 years ago. Oh, Mark.
Yeah, I would have gone to, I would have started going to just investment. It's surrounding yourself with people. I would have started to go to investment. Community. Those, people get caught in those free Instagram, Scott McGilvery, whatever, those types of programs.
I want to thank me for believing in me.
I want to thank me for believing in me. No, and then, so, I'll tell you guys.
That's true. Yeah. I really think that's important.
Yeah.
To take the time to thank me in believing in me.
And then, it can't be said enough that who you surround yourself with is going to become, the people that you surround yourself, not necessarily from a net worth perspective, although there's truth to that as well, but you become the sum of those that you surround yourself with. So choose wisely. I happened to then get into the real estate world. I chose this as an occupation, or it chose me because of the skill set that I have. It was a natural position. I happened to find something that felt natural and true and really in alignment with my actual skills. And so once you're in the real estate world, I'm very grateful for the fact that investing is just a natural component to that. So any realtor who does not invest themselves I would be confused by that, because we are surrounded by opportunity. So surround yourself with opportunity, whether you're a realtor or not. Surround yourself with opportunity and the people that are going to support you in actually your growth and what you choose to do.
Cozy movie night at home or big networking event?
Oh, I'm such a person of extremes. You have no idea how much I love both. You have no idea. So I wouldn't choose. I firmly believe you can do it all. I firmly believe that you can have that cozy night at home and you can have that big night out. If I had to choose, I'd choose my family first. So I would choose to have the curl up night at home with my kids. And in fact, I choose to spend a lot of time doing that. I have a king size bed for a reason, not for me. I have a king size bed and I installed a TV in my room.
Kingdom.
Not for me. It's because I absolutely, I can fit five in a bed, and we will curl up and watch movies on a regular basis.
What advice would you give to yourself 5 years ago?
Oh, 5 years ago? Allow yourself to recognize that. Don't expect perfection of yourself. If you expect perfection, you're not actually going to take action. So just expect yourself to put one foot in front of the other and know that you're going to be okay. I need to tell myself that with the challenges that I've gone through, been so significant over the last little bit, is just take action and know that there will be strength in action. Know that there will be support in action, because if you're taking action, you're meeting the people that you need.
And now, what advice would you give yourself today?
oh my gosh, is the advice any different today than what I would give myself 5 years ago? I don't think it is. This is the advice we all need to give ourselves every single day, is to take action. And the one thing that I would say from 5 years ago to now is that I was lucky enough to be on a show with called Lead Better with Christine, with a psychologist named Professor Maya. She maybe is not a psychologist, but if you Google Professor Maya, she had a show on confidence, and I was asked
We
to
can
be
link that
guest.
below.
Yeah, it's probably out there. I don't know where it is. But she had one line that really sticks with me, and that is, confidence is a muscle that strengthens with use. So if you find yourself struggling to actually take action and you're really stuck in where you are right now, just remember, okay, confidence is a muscle. It will strengthen with use, regular use, just like any other muscle. It's something that if you are at the position right now that you're just terrified. Do you want to hear the story of when my first property ever, my first JV partner? I had absolutely no experience and had absolutely no money, and I was headed out to meet this person who I had connected as a realtor, and I knew had a sizable amount of equity sitting there, that nothing was happening with it, and I knew I could fill a need for her, and I could supply an opportunity for her to invest. And I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, maybe I should do like an 80-20, and she should be 80 and I should be 20. It really is all her money. And I'm driving there and I'm talking to myself and I'm power posing. Trust me, I could do all this. I do everything. And I'm, as I'm driving, I'm literally power posing and my shoulders are going back and I'm thinking big. By the time I got to her house, I'm like, no, I'm 50-50. I'm for sure 50-50. There's no way I'm 20%. Who wants to be 20% of anything? And my first partnership was a 50-50 JV structure with absolutely no experience. And that was ballsy. That was absolutely something that I was terrified to do. But my question always is, what's the worst that can happen right now?
And usually that question would be just usually the first JV partnership, right? Because once you do the first one, you realize how much value you bring to the deal, that you are actually building the deal. Yeah. And the capital partner is actually good getting 50%. But you only know that after.
And now our deals we're 75 and our equity partners are often 25%. So now I understand. But at the time, my hands were shaking and I was prepared and I had all my structure laid out on paper, and now most of what I do is verbal. I'm very casual and we'll kind of provide paperwork after the fact, so to speak. But it was something that asking the question of, what's the worst that can happen right now? She's going to say no. Big deal. I like no's because the more no's you get, you're going to get that yes.
You don't no gets you closer to the yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely that's something I think our advice should never change. Just absolutely get better every day, be better than your yesterday's self, and keep taking action. Okay, so I have to thank you, Ella, for inviting me to be on the absolutely very first episode of your YouTube show. So this is going to be great. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. I look forward to connecting with whoever actually wins the book and whoever wants to have a conversation. I am very, very normal in a sense that you can do what I do. There's nothing exclusive, or I don't have a silver platter. I grew up from very humble beginnings, and I think it's all achievable. Everything that you're imagining someone on a pedestal, please don't. There is no pedestal, and it's all just taking action in small steps, one step at a time. And I'd love to connect with any one of you.
And I can only add that you're not just adding the value in this particular episode. This whole thing was started because you said one day to me, some time ago, and when I shared the idea of me having the YouTube channel with all this wisdom that real estate investors can share, and you said, do it. You have everything in you to just do it. So I really want to thank you for everything. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Today and
I probably would have said, say yes and figure it out later. I probably would have said that.
You said that too. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And now you're figuring it out. Oh my gosh, there's so many odd things in here. Yeah, on the ground. Just that's what we've got. The carpet and we'll roll. We've got the leg thumper thing.
Because you're runners, right?
Yeah.
How does it look? What is that? Oh, really?
Shh.
So just oh my god! Seriously?
Yeah.
Can I try that? You never know what you're gonna learn from real estate. Oh god! feels so good. But it's a strong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like probably for like really strong muscles.
It's well, if you're sore on a regular basis, right, and the roller and all the rest of it. Oh yeah.
She says. You know what? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just a gal on the YouTube here, so
So let's get into it.
let's get into it.
Okay, nice. Thank you for that.
Coffee, tea?
No. I want coffee.
Okay.
Are you a tea person or a coffee person?
Oh my goodness. If I give you insights into how I start my day, you would just.
How do you start your day? Tell us about your day.
So to answer your question, I would have like 60 ounces of coffee to start my day, black coffee.
Right away.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
first, coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
So I get up at 5 every morning and my coffee turns on automatically. So it's like I just hear it dripping. That's how I wake up. And I get up and I get my black coffee and I get back in bed and I start my day in a very, very specific way every single day. And it's fantastic. It's how I start my day. I get my gratitude journal out. I have my hot cup of coffee. I set my intentions for the day. And affirmations written down is actually written down every day. It's not just, I wonder what I'm going to do today. I write them down every single day. And then 5:30, 5:45, I'm out for a workout somewhere. So.